I'm really not a very smart person. I know I'm not smart enough to run a company all by myself. So what I did is I focus on making sure I have a really good team. And I have an executive management team that we meet every week, and then it consists of my finance vice president, business development vice president, a person in charge of operations, all of our operations, and human resources. What we do is we make sure the business development people are equipped with everything they need to continue to go out and win more business. And operations are equipped that they're ready. The minute the business we want from business development, it goes right into operations. So they're joined at the hip. And the finance need to make sure we make enough money to keep the lights on, keep the air conditioning flowing. So that's how we do it. And everybody, every joint at this executive committee needs to be working so nicely together every single day. Does that mean we're all just lovey-dovey, love each other? Not really. So it's a dynamics that I have to make sure that you're critical of somebody, but you're not so critical become a personal attack. So is human resources really giving me everything I need to recruit for these positions? Well, yes, but maybe you don't feel it right away. So putting the right people on the right job and empower. Let them do what they're supposed to do. I may have a little issue about, getting my hands in there. I'm trying very hard these days. Empowerment is my thing. I'm going to empower people. I'm going to stay out.
And it leaves you an opportunity. So what do you see the role of a CEO is? And one of the things we talk about that, to me, it's being a visionary. Your job is to look to the future, watch the horizon, scope out opportunities, as well as predict threats that may be coming your way so that you can at any time move in the way. Do you kind of see that as the role?
I do. I love to look out and what is my adjacent market. I'm big on this thing. We've been analyzing this for a couple of years, and if you do something really well, but what is the right next to it? What's the cousin market right next to it? And so my job is to look at that and bring it to the table, and my people would decide, what can you do? What can we do? We are looking at adjacent markets that are billion-dollar market that I wasn't looking at it. I could have kicked myself. Why wasn't I thinking about it? So my job, if I'm so focusing on the nitty-gritty, then I won't be able to see the far big picture. So now what I'm doing is I need to make sure that I free myself away from the everyday thing, even though it is very important, because every problem starts with a little problem. If you take care of the little problem, there's no big problem. But looking at the future, where do you want to go? Where is our next 10 years plan? What do we want to be when we grow up? That's my role. That's my job. That's what I think I should be doing.
How do you do that? So what do you do to make sure that you're developing yourself as a leader, and that, number one, you're finding the resources so you can assess opportunity, that you are positioning yourself to look to the future? Do you have advisors or supporters that help you in any way?
I do. I have a group of people that I can go to, and I don't have a formal board of directors because I thought I'm pretty good in figuring out what I want to do. But as we continue to grow, that may need to change. But looking at, I have a group of CEOs that we get together from Vistage, and I really value that. It's a really good sounding board, and you run your plans against them, and then people are very openly criticizing about what you think you should be doing or not doing. But to me, I take away, I'm a really good listener. I will listen. I may probably dismiss it first things. What do you know? My answer to everybody usually is, what do you know? But then I will go home and says, maybe there is something there. So always come back to me and says, there's a lot more that I don't know, and I'm learning.
So where do you see the future of your company? Where are you going? Are your children going to take over and lead it? Your daughters? You have 3 beautiful, beautiful, extraordinary daughters. I know that.
Yes, I do. No, I think I have a lot of energy in me, so I don't, if any of them wants to work with me, they're welcome to. But I really I'm enjoying the process, I'm enjoying the journey. It's very challenging. Every single day is very challenging, but I truly enjoy the challenge.
So what's your greatest need right now? What do you see your greatest need right now at STG? And then I know people are dying to ask you questions, so I'm going to open it up.
What we really need is people who know the market even more. That I'm trying to hire the experts who, for instance, if I'm going to the state of Texas detention center, now who can take me there? Who is the expert? Something like that. So these are we have a very good machine in my office. Our proposals are beautiful and winning proposal. So what do I need? I need a few more experts to take it to the party that we can all.
So you bring them in as consultants and then.
Consultants, employees, full-time, part-time, whatever.
So you need an employee. So if somebody's looking at this and you need a job and you want to work for the most extraordinary company and the most amazing woman leader, send your application
That'll be me.
Yeah, that'd be you, to STG International. You can look them up online, stginternational.com. And get in there. And I know this is an opportunity. You could be working in a jail, you're working in a hospital. I mean, you never know. Or you could be working side by side with Michelle.
Yes.
I know you probably all have a lot of questions for Michelle, so I'm going to open up the floor and answer and permit her to answer any questions you may have. And I'm going to repeat your question just to make sure we get it on the camera. All right, Stephanie.
How do you think healthcare reform is going to affect your business?
I was going to ask you that.
Or a negative way?
How do you think healthcare reform is going to impact your business in a positive or negative way?
I think it's a little too early to tell, seriously, because not everybody really know what's in that healthcare reform package. I'm not very optimistic. I'm sorry. I'm usually a very optimistic person. I'm not very optimistic about it. I visit my employee in Texas, in the state of Arizona, in California. They're not happy with their health care. Well, because they're in El Paso, they're in Harlingen. Very few good health care providers are there. The massive inequity in the healthcare system I think is bigger than you and me. I think it's bigger than our president. So I don't know. I hope that it will solve our problem. I really do. I have some reservation.
Yeah, it's a huge complex. I think the major issues we face right now is healthcare in our nation. I think it's a huge one. And how do we create a system that's affordable and benefits all? Medicaid, Medicare is a huge issue, and I see that coming down the pike in the Social Security reform. I mean, we can't continue, and the numbers just are not sustainable. And we don't have a balanced budget. But I'm not going to get on my soapbox right now. Who else has a question? Okay, so she's been called on the carpet that she claimed she wasn't a smart person. Well, we actually all know she's a brilliant woman. But so you got challenged on that when you say you're not a smart person or CEO.
You know what? I'm ADD. I have a problem, focusing on a long, drawn-out presentations and stuff like that. So I try to surround myself with the people who are really smart, who can really help me. And I'm not the sharpest one, but I try. I work very hard. I figure the hard work can make up the shortness that I have in my smartness. But I did marry someone really smart. Now, I was never top of the class. I wasn't perfect in school. I was never top of the class. But I knew I was going to marry first of the class, like top. I'm sorry. So I did that, and so my children were very fortunate. They all got the book smart from my husband.
I think you are very, very smart, and I think sometimes we sit there because the smartest people, we surround ourselves with the smartest people. I mean, that's what we need to do.